Hello, hello. It is Thursday and day 4 of boot camp. My name is Monica Perry. I am your Market Center Tech Trainer for Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Chapel Hill, and my newly added folks over in Durham, South Point. So excited for you guys to be here today. Yay! All right, so today we are going to be looking at designs and campaigns. So we're going to start off in the designs platform. So we're going to go into agent.kw.com where we've been logging in all week to go over all of our different features and functions in Command. Once we get into the system, we are going to come over to our little canvas with our paintbrush. Don't forget, guys, if you are ever forgetting what these little icons stand for, you can always click the white KW on the red background and pop those out. And we're going to head on over into designs. Just as a reminder, all of these are recorded and put on YouTube, and the resources that we have today will get dropped into the chat, as well as they will be put in the description box down at the bottom of the YouTube video. And then I'll be added to kwtechcoach.com for you to easily access those. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat. And copy this. Paste that in there. And now that we are here in the designs platform, there's a couple of things I want to draw your attention to. So on this screen, if you don't see anything yet, don't worry. That just means you haven't created any designs yet, unlike your crazy Market Center Tech Trainer who has over 1,000 designs in here. But once you do have a lot of designs in here, from this screen, you will be able to filter to look at your different design types, whether they be email, social, print, or video. You will also be able to delete multiple at one time, which I obviously need to do by clicking the little check boxes here, and then you'll have the ability to delete down in the lower right corner. We can also click to change the view to more of a list view if we prefer to see things that way, and sort old to new and new to old. So that's what we can do from this screen. So next step is we're going to click Create Design in the upper right corner, and I want to draw your attention to the fact that your Command apps are going to fall away as you move into the Designs platform powered by WeBrand. So this is always where I like to tell folks, you can have more than one command window open at one time, and I quite often do, especially if I'm working in designs. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to click Create Design, and we're going to start off today by choosing Social and clicking Continue. So notice as this loads, we have lost our command apps from the left because we are now in the design platform. So we can definitely open up another window if we're working on a design and simultaneously we are doing something else in Command. You can have more than one window open in order to do that, so that you don't have to come out of designs if you need to jump in and grab a contact's information or something of that nature. You guys will not yet see auto create over here on the left, but what I want to draw your attention to is all of your templates over here on the left and the rest of the layout of the designs. So templates are going to be on your left. You can see we're highlighted templates at the top. Then we have Images tab. So I will let you know that some of this is paid for. So I don't hang out in this tab very much because if it's free, it's for me and I don't want to pay for stuff. There are a few things in here that you can use that are free, but I don't go in here very often. So next up is a tab for your designs. So these are any designs that you have made, and you can create folders for them. You can start from blank from here. You could import a PDF that you had created in a different system, maybe like a Canva PDF, and bring it into Command to be able to edit that. And you can also go back to your templates. But the first thing I want all of you to do before you ever create anything in designs is to come over to the Assets tab. So this Assets tab is here for you to use repeatedly, right? So for any designs that we're making, that way we have a color palette. So my brand, if you've been on my website, you've seen my brand colors are a mixture of teals and KW standard reds, blacks, and grays. So that's my main color palette. However, if you want to create multiple color palettes because you do things very seasonally, then you can do that as well. So the way that we create a color palette is we click Add Palette and we get a blank palette here. Then we can hit these three dots. We can rename it. Let me think of something witty here. What have I already got? Patriotic Summer, St. Patrick's. I'll just make one for my son's new college. So if you're going to target somebody at a specific place, if you want to target a specific season, whatever works for you and your business, you can set up a palette to reflect those colors, and it will make it easier when you're creating a design. So I'll show you where that comes into play here shortly. Below that, we have the ability to upload fonts. So if you got a specific font made for your business by a designer, they can send you that font and you can upload it as long as it is in one of these three file formats. We cannot upload any file format for a font other than the three that you see on my screen here. But we also have the ability to search for web fonts like so. So if there's a specific font you've used in a different program and you want to take a look to see if it's available, you can come down here and look through. You could also search for a font if there's one that you know the name of. I'm trying to see if they have like a college or a varsity font. They always have different names for different fonts. Let me see if I can find, I'll just take this one right here. So I could turn that on and then click add, give it a second, and boom. Now I have that font available to use in any of my designs. So that's great. So color palettes and fonts, moving on to images. So if you have a set of images that you use over and over again, whether that be your headshot, whether that be a QR code that takes somebody to your link tree or your website or your mobile app, or you paid for some really great pictures of cityscapes around your area and you want to be able to use those in your branding and marketing, you can upload any images here that you think you're going to want to use on a repeated basis. You could also give them folders to make it easier for yourself when you're in the designing process. So you can see I have my headshot, my labs advisors, my Linktree barcode, and I also have some folders like my headshots in various formats. Squares sometimes is better than portrait for different things. Sometimes I need to remove the background. A question I always get is, how did I remove the background from my headshot? There are multiple ways you can do it. The way that I do it is open a new tab and go to Remove BG. And when you go to Remove BG, you can upload an image like so. And let me find something that I can remove the background of. Let me go under my pictures. I'll remove the background off of my kiddos' pictures from not this past summer, but the summer before. And that's that simple. So I upload it, it removes the background. I download it and I have the image with no background on it anymore. So that is how I personally remove backgrounds, because it's easy and fast. And then I just download that picture. So that's what images is for. And then text. So any text that you don't want to have to type repeatedly, which I know that is just my favorite thing, to type the same things over and over again. I know it's not really for any of us, but your phone number, your website, your app code, your name, your email address, your company's address, anything that you think you might have to type. I've done various little blocks of my information and layouts that I have seen as I've gone through and created designs that would come in handy, and I've added those here. So again, pretty simple. We add text in the upper right. If it fits into one of these things, I'll just use count country and say United States and save. Then I can do that easily, or I can click add and come down to other. If I have something else that I need to add, anything that you want, I'm just going to give it a silly one here. But anything you can think that you might want to use multiple times, boom, now you have that text there. And again, I'll show you where these all come into play. Next up is logos. So if you didn't know, every market center has a suite of logos. So my home market center where my license is Keller Williams Realty Elite in Winston-Salem. These are all the different colorways and formats of our logo that I can go grab from kwconnect.com, pending that you're not in my Greensboro Market Center. KW1 logos have not been uploaded here yet. Oops, let me log out of Candy. I was logged into somebody else this morning. Log in as myself. There we go. So when you're on KW Connect, you can hover over training. I lied. You can hover over resources and come down to marketing. Click on logos and branding. I need to do this for Durham anyway, so it worked out well. I'm going to slide down the screen to Market Center logos and type my Market Center number. So Winston-Salem, if you're watching the recording, 994. Greensboro, 509. But again, those logos are in your company's private Facebook page. They are not yet available on here from where the two companies merged together. Chapel Hill, Market Center number 685. Yours are up here in Durham, 1033. We can now download the zip folder, and depending upon if you're on a Windows computer or if you're on a Mac. If you're on a Windows PC like I am, you're going to wait for this folder to download. It's almost there. And we're going to open that up. And now I need to extract. So I'm going to click extract all. I got this little pop-up. I can browse my computer for where I want them to be. And maybe I want to create a folder on my desktop for this set of logos. Then I can do that, select the folder, and confirm the extraction of those logos. Now, if you're on a Mac, it's my understanding that once you download the folder and then you open it, it kind of extracts itself. So I don't have a Mac to show you that on, but that is my understanding. And so then you can come back into your logos if you haven't done so already and click new folder. So I'm doing KW Elite 1033 and clicking OK, making myself another folder, uploading from my device. This will save you time in the long run, I promise. Moving into my desktop. Here's those logos. And now I can just drag and copy. I can click add more because I need to get the colors, which hang out under CMYK. I'm going to grab those and upload those 7 files. Boom. So now I have those logos ready to use when I'm making my designs. Pretty sweet. All right. Welcome in, Jessica Spivey. It's good to see you. Coming down into elements. I've uploaded a Facebook logo here. You could upload any kind of stickers, buttons, anything like that that you need can be uploaded into Elements. You could upload videos. So if you're going to be putting videos into various things, you might need access to those videos here. You can upload them from YouTube. You can also upload them from your computer by clicking upload and choosing whether you're going to upload it from your computer or use a YouTube link. And files, I've still not found exactly where these are going to come into play, but you can in fact upload PDFs right here into the files section. So again, most importantly, colors, images, text, and logos, those top four here are the ones that you want to make sure you take care of before creating your designs. So now that we've looked at that, we're going to move over into our templates. I'm going to go ahead and open up listings. So you can see under listings, we have coming soon, for sale, just listed, just sold, listing presentation, local expert, neighborhood snaps, open house, price update, which we haven't had to visit in a while, but it sounds like we might be getting back there. And let's go ahead and use that as our example today. So again, these are our social designs that we're looking at. Okay. So we have thing size for social stories, social squares, and social wide, which if you have been in this business for any amount of time, over 3 years maybe, we didn't used to have this. We had to actually look up what size is a Facebook cover photo, and then we had to go into Canva or whatever we were using to make that size image and then drag and drop our stuff into it. So it's really nice that they already have it sized for us. So I'm just going to click use on this one right here so I can show you guys this functionality. Once this loads, you're going to see that I can click on this text. I could double click in to be able to type. That's one option for text, or I can click it and then click the typewriter in the top here on my toolbar and bring up the typewriter and say that this was just reduced by 5,000 and click save the change. And then I can stretch this out. I can even drag it in from the corner instead of having to go up and change the font size to where I can get it laid out just how I would like. And now this is a generic image in the background, but, ooh, I should have looked up a listing. I had one in my brain yesterday and I've forgotten which one it was. Bear with me 1 second while I get a listing, because I myself do not have listings. So I'm going to borrow somebody's that's beautiful from my office and we'll give them a little shout out. Let me find something in Winston-Salem that we can use. Who is this? Ashley Lay and Ashley Bonnet with 145 Royce Drive in Winston-Salem. Just going to borrow your listing for this. So we need to change out this background image to reflect our listing if that's what we want to do. So one way that we can do that is come over to the left and click KWLS. Obviously, if you had your listing images saved on your computer, you could upload that image. But I did want to show you the KWLS functionality. I can search for that address, give it a second to load, and here's that listing right here, and click select. And now I have any photos that are in the MLS populating, as well as listing details for that listing. Okay. So I'm going to come over to my photos and say, okay, I want to replace this photo. I have blue around the photo with this photo. Bam. So that easy. I just hit the little arrows going in a circle. It replaces the image for me. So now, where do all of those assets that we set up come into play? Well, this is great and all, but this doesn't have the address either. So maybe I want to put the address. I can just click on that address and maybe put it down here. And maybe I want to change the color to white. Then I can come up here and grab white and change the text color. Then I can come over to all of these buttons like text, right? At the top of text, I have add text if I need to add something that I want to type. I have banners, very Canva-esque types of things that, you can grab people's attention with if you're looking for it. I have workspace text, and I also have my assets. So this is where those assets come into play. So if I wanted my name, phone number, and email to be on here, here's my text block with that info. I can just click it. It's going to drop it right in. Again, maybe I want to change that to be white so it shows up. Can stretch it out to the size I want it to be and pull it on the screen wherever I want it to go. And then maybe I wanted my headshot to be on here. Then I can click on images. Here are my images that I uploaded into my assets. And here are my headshots. Maybe I want that one that has no background image. I can just click it and drop it right in to the graphic like so. And then I could pull my information down here beside of it. Maybe since it's down here, I do want it to be black so it shows up. Whatever I need to do to adjust my design. And then maybe I want to change the color scheme. So maybe I'm going to grab this little circle. I could come up to the color. And those colors that I set up, if I drop down the library, there's my main color palette, as well as all of the other color palettes that I had set up for myself if I wanted to swap out that color. Okay. Pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
So you can change things as you like them. I made my email signature in here. I make lots of social media posts in here. You can really customize things. And then the great thing, does anybody have any questions about the stuff that we did so far? Everybody good?
Actually, if you can go back to, so right before you were just showing your headshots, when you went to look at your images, like when you first went there, it showed your different folders of images.
Yep. So that was under my assets here.
Right. Okay,
These
so if I
are the
created those folders within the My Assets previously,
correct.
then it would show like that. Okay.
Right. And so that way you can just grab whatever you need by opening your folders instead of having to click add, upload it from your computer, and all that kind of stuff. They will just be right here for you, right? On the sidebar. So if it's going to be something that you're going to use repeatedly, I would recommend taking the time to go ahead and upload it.
Yeah. Okay.
Good deal. Awesome. Okay, great question. So let's go back. Let me show you the difference here too. If you go home, it's going to bring you back to my designs. Okay. If you click done and save, let me show you what it does, just so you're aware. So done on the right brings you all the way back out into command. You can see that we got our applets back. If I had clicked the left-hand side, it would have kept me within the designs platform. So I have made that mistake. So I always like to bring it to people's attention.
Yeah, I think I've done that several times myself.
Yes. This time when I click create design, I'm going to pick print so we can look at something a little bit different. And this is really where those assets and the KWLS integration can shine, is when we're making flyers and things of that nature. So I've brought us over into print. So maybe I want to make a flyer for inside of my listing. At the top, I have the ability to filter by door hangers, flyers, and letters, standard postcards, bifold, trifolds, and the large bifolds that are use that bigger paper. So I'm going to pick just flyer letter and say that I like this one and click use. So I'm going to show you how you can really, really customize this out. Let it finish. little load. I'm going to click this red box. I'm going to click color, library, change it to my color, this red box, change it to my color, this red box, change it over to my color, and this one to my color. Boom. So now this is in my color palette, right? I'm going to click on this logo, KWDBA name. Here's my logos that are from my assets, right? Now my license is actually in Keller Williams Realty Elite in Winston-Salem. So that is the logo I'm going to use. I just click replace and it is replaced. Okay. Headshot, click, images, Monica's headshot, replace. Now it's got my picture. Okay. So now I'm actually just going to replace this with my assets, just my name, because I don't have a team. Boom. Now it's got my name. So notice this little text that's separated with the lines. I have seen that before. So I created myself assets that are broken up like that in those different ways as I've gone through and made designs. I know I have one of them in here somewhere so that I can, in fact,
There it is.
am I missing it somewhere?
I thought it was just down on the right.
That might
Go down a few more.
There it is. Okay, thank you. Like totally missed that. There we go. So now I replaced it with mine. I need to stretch it out a little bit so it goes across the screen. My app code, click. My app code's in here. It's right there. Replace. Right? So you can see how much easier it is than having to stop and type and all that kind of stuff. And then again, we can come into KWLS, search for our listing. It's going to pull up all of our pictures that we have in the MLS. And maybe I want to replace that top image. Might just want to do an exterior front. But I can really choose what's going to work best for my design. I'm pretty happy with that. And then maybe I want to use this one and replace it with their kitchen. It's a little dark, but that's okay. And then maybe I want to replace that one with that one. Great. And then address is under listing details. Replace. Number of beds and baths. This is usually a time that I do look over here if I don't remember off the top of my head, and then I click my typewriter and I say, okay, that does in fact have 4 bedrooms, but it's got 3.1 baths. And then whatever my square footage is, and try it MLS, just so you guys know, we use a range. So I may or may not want to put this on here, but maybe it's like the 2,500 to 3,000 square foot range. Then I can click save. And that replaces that for me. Just like so. I can grab this, clean it up, change it to what I want. I can grab this and look right here on the left. Welcome to this gorgeous move-in ready. Bam. That is my verbiage straight out of the MLS. It may or may not fit all the way on here. I might have to do some, cutting, but at least I didn't have to type it all over again. Maybe I just want to take this part out to make it fit nicely in there. Then I can do that as well. And I'm ready to go. I've got my listing images in, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say Monica's flyer for 123 Main. Okay. And I'm going to click home this time instead of back because I want to show you something else. The button on the left keeps us in the designs platform. So now I want to bring your attention to these folders, right? So if this is something you want to do, you want to customize it to your colors and you really like the layout of this. So each time you get a new listing, you just want to use this. Make yourself a folder like this one called listing marketing. So this is one that I set up in a class one day. So anytime I get a new listing, I can just go, okay, here's my social story, 3 dots. I want to duplicate. I'm going to open up this duplicated copy. It's laid out exactly how I want it to be laid out already. And I can just come over and pull in my listing. And then you can save it. So then you don't even have to create it from scratch. You just replace what needs replacing, crop it if you need to, click done, switch out your built this data and your address, and then move on. So I really like the fact that we can just make copies and we can have folders. And that way, like your listing presentation, your buyer consultation, if you're using those out of here, you can just make a copy of the one that you made already and change out the client's name and information, or maybe the front picture if you snagged a picture of the listing when you did like a drive-by, right? So I really like that functionality. So, okay.
So much more of a time saver. I mean, I've done a few things for the holidays, just playing around with it, getting familiar with it, and it could have saved me so much time doing it the way that you just did it.
Yep, it does. And I really got in here and embraced it. We had a different designing program at first that we called Sketchy House because it wasn't very good. But then they gave us this and we liked that a lot more. So I've come in and really just played around in here and seen what I could do. The designs, I'm glad you brought that up. So now that we're here again, I'm going to come back into my templates and I'm going to go down to holidays. So these are nice and broken down into months now. Previously, they were not. So that wasn't very fun. But these are predominantly social design. So you can come in here and do a happy Thanksgiving post or anything that you would like. They've got daylight savings time, which just passed, which we may or may not have the ability to do next year. We'll see what happens with that. But we definitely have Veterans Day tomorrow. Wow, it's already Thursday. So you can make a Veterans Day post, you can make a Thanksgiving post, we can move into December, and we've got all of the December holidays, including the winter solstice on the 21st, where we have our shortest day of the year. We've got Hanukkah, we've got Kwanzaa, we've got Christmas, we've got snow globes, just anything that we could desire right here for the month of December. And also, I wanted to draw your attention for the month of December to the fact that we have postcards. So if you want to send a holiday card, right, like a card and write it out, great. But if you want to send a happy holidays card, maybe you want to send it to your whole database, maybe you want to send it to a specific neighborhood, great. You can come in here and use one of these. It's got the front and the back, right, because it's a postcard. So we're going to let this pull up. We're going to say from whoever it's from. If you have a team, great. If not, you can just do your name. If I can find my name. I've made too many assets over the years. There you go, from Monica Perry. So there's the front. Pages are in the lower right corner. Click, switch to the back. Holiday season, all about friends, family, cozy home. We wish you all of the above. Great. Again, I'm going to switch this with my name. I'm going to switch this with my company address. And maybe I want to add my city and state there. Get it down to the same size. So I can put this however I need it to be on this postcard. Drop in my phone number, switch out my logo with the correct one. Says each office is independently owned and operated. leaves my room there for postage. So whatever I want to put on the back of this. So I'm going to show you guys how to do postcards in the second half of class. But the one important thing to remember is if you're going to make the postcard here in Designs and then bring it into Campaigns for sending, is how we download the postcard. So I'm going to touch on this now, and then we'll implement this postcard later. There are postcards in Campaigns already pre-built, and they work fantastic for a listing. Just listed, just sold, under contract, price reduced, whatever it is that you're doing. Those built-in templates are great for that. But if you wanted to do something more customized and you make it in Designs, it is super important to remember how to download it. So we're going to come into the upper corner and click download. PDF for printing is perfect. We also want to include bleed. We really need to do that. It defaults where it needs to be to 0.125, but we definitely want to turn that on.
Why don't they make that automatic then?
That's a great question. Because I guess if you're downloading it to print it yourself, maybe you don't need to do it. But if you're downloading it to make it fit into the campaign section for the postcard, you do need to do it.
Gotcha.
Right? Because if not, it comes out to the wrong size. That was something I found out a while back. So I always like to show people that. And then we download a CMYK. Not all pages. We're going to download one page at a time. So I'm going to download page 1. And it's going to save it in the lower left corner of my screen because I'm on a Windows PC. If you're on a Mac, I don't know exactly where your downloads go. You can see it says it's preparing in the upper left corner. So we're going to let it do that. And then one more time, I'm going to click download. Everything should still be the same. And now I'm just going to download page 2. And it will download that file for me. Preparing and perfect. Okay. So we will implement this postcard here in just a bit when we move into Designs. But I wanted to look at a few more things here in the designing platform.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What happens if we forget that you said to download page 1 and page 2 separately and we download them at the same time?
I would go back and download them separately because when
Okay.
you go to upload them, you have to upload the front and then you have to upload the back.
Okay.
I mean, if you're doing it through Campaigns, if you're doing it on your own computer, you might just be printing it front and back, which would be fine. Right? If you were going to like print them and then stamp them yourself, that would be fine. But if you're going to be doing them through the campaign section, they need to be in 2 separate files.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So let's go back to templates a little bit. And we're going to look at a couple of more things in here, like a listing template. I'm just going to go into one that I've already made so I can show you what it looks like. I'll do this one, actually. We made this one recently. We downloaded it as an image. We could post it on the interwebs, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to post it, right? Which is great. And we know movement captures more attention than still, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're posting on Facebook, when we're posting on Instagram, our whole goal is to stop the scroll because that's what people are doing. They're scrolling through and looking at stuff. And so I always like to show you guys about the animation functionality over here on the left. So I can come over here and click animate. I can bounce the different pieces in. I can swing them in. I can fade them in. There's all different kinds of things that we can do with all these different things. So I'm going to keep stomp. Maybe I want it to last a little longer. I can increase this to 6 and this to 3. And see what difference that would make. So that would make it pop a little bit when you posted it. If you're going to do it with the animation, we need to download the video. We can download it as a GIF, or we can download it as an MP4, or we can download it as an MOV file, whichever one is best for your purposes. But you definitely want to download the video if you want that movement.
For those of us who aren't social media savvy and are starting to use Facebook, which one should I use?
Probably an MP4.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so we'll go ahead and download that so we have it to look at later as well. It's going to take it a minute to download because it's a video file, but we're going to let it do its thing. So if we want to do a video, we need to download the video file. If we wanted to post it as a picture, we have two options. We can download it as a picture, or we're going to show the option. That's going to be if you're going to go directly to Facebook, directly to Instagram. If you're going to post it through command, I want to give you another tip. If you're going to post it through the command campaign section, which is what we're going to be looking at second half of class, I want to give you a few tips and tricks. You will be able to bring it in directly from designs, and you will have the ability to overlay a logo in the designs platform, in the campaigns platform. Some offices have it set, the office doesn't have it set that way. Some rules in different places have it set to where you can't post it without it overlaying. So I don't know which one your market center is.
Okay.
Depending on who's watching this video from wherever. So we can leave off the logo. If we're going to post it through campaigns, for example, let me find one that we can post in a little bit. I'll make two of these. So this one doesn't have a logo. I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to make it have a logo so that I can show this in the campaigns. So if you're going to download it and share it, put the logo on it. If you're going to share it through command, you don't need to put the logo on it. So I'm going to just drop this white one in, drag it to the corner. And I'm going to say this one's with logo, so we know which one it is. All right, cool. So that's one point that I wanted to make on that. And then last but not least, in the social aspect, I wanted to show you guys the listing neighborhood snapshots. Now, these were down last time, so I'm going to check this time. But for neighborhood snapshots, we have social stories, we have print graphics, we have social squares, we have a few social wide. So it just depends. Don't ever think that you're done, because you may or may not be. If you notice, those did not pop in until I scrolled down on my screen. So I'm going to choose this one right here and click use. This is another functionality that we have from the KWLS, or the Keller Williams listing system, on the left. So this is the neighborhood snapshot, this whole block. So I'm going to come over here to the left. I'm going to choose KWLS, but this time, instead of searching for a listing, I'm going to click on snapshots. Okay. So for this, we have to either use one of those neighborhoods that is established by Nextdoor, or we can do it by a zip code. I'm going to do it by a zip code for today, and I'm going to search for 27104, which is where I live. I'm going to wait for those to load. They're pretty big as far as data is concerned, so it does take it a second. So I try to be patient. Okay, it looks like they may or may not be working again today. Let me try doing a neighborhood instead and see. I always get questions about them, so I always like to bring them up, even if they're not currently working. And it could be that they're not working because of Triad MLS. So for all I know, Triangle MLS might be working today. This is one of those moments where I say, what the tech?
I got mine to work.
There you go. Like we just don't ever know what we're going to get. So it looks like neighborhoods are working. So I'm just going to replace it with that one. But then average price per square foot is not showing up. And that more than likely is because Triad MLS is a range of square footage. So it's not giving us the square footage price. But you know, I digress. I like to show you guys that it does exist. You come in here, you replace this with your company logo, all the things like we've shown. And you obviously would want to change this to not say Barton Hills if you're talking about Buena Vista. So I can, and for those in Raleigh and Chapel Hill and Durham, it's Buena Vista when you're in Winston-Salem. That is what it's called. I'm not saying it inaccurately because I don't know how to say Buena Vista. It is actually what you call it when you live here. If you ever want to sell a house there, that is. All right, so there you go. This one's done. So I always like to show that as well. And we'll go ahead and save that. I'll show you something fun to do with that here in just a few minutes in the campaign section. But you guys get the point. You can make all kinds of stuff in here. Like I said, you can make door hangers and send them off. There's stuff for Keller Mortgage. There's stuff for listings. There's stuff for holidays. There's stuff for buyers. There's whole listing presentations. We have the lead generation sections where we have client love, birthdays, holidays, thank you cards, thank you postcards, coloring books for when we're having people come to the office that have children. Happy birthday to our clients. Happy home anniversary to our clients. We have I love KW. We have some home value ones that say, what's your home worth, for us to put on there. Inspiration things to get people to download our app, things to get people to use our website, our personally branded magazine, which we still don't have the winter edition of, but hopefully it's going to come out soon under personally branded zine. We have business basics like cards, email signatures. This one is mine, but I changed it to be my colors. We have a letterhead, and we have some other, oh, we even have Zoom backgrounds. If you want a KW Zoom background, there's some of those there. So there's all kinds of different stuff in here. There's luxury, all kinds of fun stuff to do here in the Designs platform. Keep in mind, when you get in here, this is print and social, okay? So before we move into campaigns, the last thing I want to draw your attention to is the email designs, because we talked about that those exist, but they're done a little bit differently. So I'm going to click done and go back out into command land, which is what you have to do to get to emails. Okay. So now we're going to click create design in the upper right and choose email this time and click continue. So KW has given us 72 email templates. We have email templates for open houses, featured homes, homes for sale, some that are already written. Happy New Year, protect your credit, refinancing, sell ready, tax day, financial health, healthy home. So if you want an email that you can send out that you don't really have to do anything with, you have that option here. We have luxury open houses. I'm just going to keep loading. Seller lead conversion, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving coming up. Happy holidays. And some more just listed, just sold. Work with me seller and work with me buyer are both really nice emails. We also have a happy birthday, promoting my app, and a home anniversary email. The email designs that we create here get used in two places. Number one, smart plans. So we looked at smart plans on Monday this week. where we were adding emails, we showed that we could add a simple email, which was just typing out the email as you normally would type an email. And we also could toggle and choose design. So those are these. So you can use these designs in Smart Plans. You can also use these designs and have to use a design, cannot type a standard email in campaigns under the email section. So we're going to look at that in the second half of the class. But I wanted to show quickly how to edit these. I'm just going to take something that's already made, like New Year, so I can show the editing functionality. Ooh, no, I better take one that's got stuff in it. I'm going to take approachable featured homes and click next. Now, I want to draw your attention to the fact that at the top it says market center name with 2 asterisks. You do not have to do anything with this box. If I come up to options preview, we have talked about the importance of our marketing profile, which has our headshots, our logos, our phone number, our email address, our license numbers and company address. It is going to fill that stuff in for you from your marketing profile. So again, showing the importance of our marketing profile being complete, having updated information, and having a recent headshot, because it auto-populates these email templates, as well as our website and some other places. So I wanted to draw attention to that first. And then I wanted to draw attention to how we edit in here. So a little bit different than when we're doing social and print. So if I click on the address, this box right here, this is an actual little widget. I'm going to click the pin in the corner. I can select the listing. And search. So there's Royce Drive. We're going to stick with that one. I'm going to click view. Then I can select the picture I want to use from this and click select. It popped the picture. It put the address. It put the bedrooms and bathrooms, but this is actually 3.1. So make sure that you're paying, oh, it won't let you do it. Make sure that you're paying attention to it. And I even have the ability to link it to something. So yesterday we looked at how to create landing pages for listings. So we have a couple of options. We can link to a landing page that we made, or we could even link to a web address and just go to our website itself, search for the address, open the listing. This link will take them to be able to see more about this listing. Okay, so either way, there's not a wrong answer. It's just which one do you want to do? So I could just pop this web address in right here, or I could link to a landing page. At what point I need to select the landing page that I created. So that's why it's important to name our landing pages so that we know which one it is when we're scrolling through this list of landing pages. Okay.
Is there a limit as to how many landing pages we can have?
Not that I have found so far.
Hmm.
But I mean, once you've made one, maybe the house sells and you don't need it anymore, you could delete it if you wanted to. If you ever did find out there was a limit, you can delete the previously used ones.
Right. Okay.
Good?
Yep.
And then we click done. Always remember to click done when you're doing email designs.
Oh, yes. I learned that the hard way too.
So we're given the square footage and clicking done, and it's going to fill that in. And then I could pick another listing to feature, and then I could use this email later. But again, all of this stuff is filling out. I don't have to worry about editing that. I just need to worry about editing this and then clicking on this button and clicking the pin, because this says view more listings, but it's not linked to anything. So I need to link it to something like my website, which is Monica Perry. If I could spell my own name, that would be fantastic. Monica Perry at MonicaPerry.kw.com. No www. We talked about that yesterday, y'all. No www in our websites. Only https:// then our website. No www. And then we click done. Okay. We also have the ability to drag stuff over from the side. So like a market snapshot, right? If you were doing three houses that were all within kind of the same area, you could do this little thing here. You could look it up by zip code and leave it at zip code, or you could go a step further and pick the neighborhood that existed within the zip code, whichever one you want to do. And that's going to populate statistics for whichever one you choose. If you want to add that.
So that's comparative to RPR as to what they can do, right?
Similar.
Are you familiar? Yeah.
I am. Yep. I know what RPR is. So similar. Yeah. I mean, a similar thing that you can do there. So, it also depends on the data and how it comes in and if you're happy with the way it looks or not. I don't like how it does average list price with all these things at the end, but I always like to show you guys like what it can do. You see where it's 666666666. I don't always see that, but I do see it sometimes. So sometimes I'll include neighborhood trends and sometimes I won't. And I'm always super transparent with you guys. Like, if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you. I know it's going to get improved on, but if I see it and I don't like it, I just don't use it. Right. And I know, and just knowing that it's going to get an improvement eventually. So we have event blocks if you wanted to invite somebody to a holiday open house or an open house at a listing or whatever it is. You have all these different widgets that you can pull from the side, which looks more like yesterday when we were working in website and landing pages yesterday, looks more like that. So we have the ability to bring in text, images, buttons, legal header, legal footer, listing blocks, event blocks, videos, and market snapshots when we're here in the email designs. But we also have just those ready-made email designs, which is great too, right? All right, so that takes us to the end of designs. We're going to take a short little break for 5 minutes, turn on some music, fill up our waters, and then we'll come back and look at campaigns.
Okie dokie.
All right, let's hop into campaigns. So we've looked at all the different designs that we can make. We are now going to look at where we can use these designs in various different ways and the campaigns platform. Okay. So when we come into campaigns, depending on if you're on a team or not, there are team campaigns. Today, I'm going to be working out of my personal account, but teams just know campaigns is teamified. Designs is not yet teamified, but coming very soon. But I'm going to be working out of my personal account where I'm in campaigns. I can do several things. I can do free social posts. And if it's free, it's for me. So that's where we're going to start, is with free social posts. The thing to remember when doing social posts is that you do have to have a business Facebook page in order to post through command. You do have to convert your Instagram account to a business account in order to post to Instagram. Twitter can be left as is. Unless you want to do paid ads, then you need to create a Twitter paid ad account from Twitter's website. But for social posting, Twitter can be left as is. So those are 3 things to remember with social posts. The other things that we can do in campaigns are direct mail, like postcards, which we're going to look at second. We're actually going to work our way backwards. Then we can do emails, which are not the same emails that come from Smart Plans. They're slightly different. I still prefer Smart Plan emails over campaign emails for now. I know that campaign emails will get upgrades in the future that might make me love them a little bit more. But for right now, I actually prefer to send my designed emails through Smart Plans. But we'll take a look at it quickly. And then if we have time at the end, we'll get into paid Facebook ads. I do standalone classes on paid Facebook ads pretty regularly if you're super interested in learning more about those. So
Okay.
from our campaigns dashboard, we have the ability to connect more accounts. We can see our connected accounts over here, which ones we have connected. We have quick posts. I really like these quick posts. I can't wait to get more of them. So we're going to start there. And then we also have tips and training down here at the bottom. So quick posts are ready-made posts. They have an image. They have verbiage. We don't really have to do anything with them. If you don't see something here that you like, you can just hit the shuffle button and see if you find one that you do. So bad joke alert. What's a good sign you're going to get a great price for your home? A sale sign with my name on it, right? So if you like that one, great. If not, keep going and keep clicking shuffle. There's not a ton of these in here yet, but hopefully we get some more. But I'm
created some.
KWRI's marketing team.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to, but we can also use this as a jumping off point to think of stuff that we can post, right? That's what I like about it. So I like Keller Mortgage, and this is a post about Keller Mortgage. Keller Mortgage saved me $800. So yes, I like them on a monthly basis. So they're my friends. But we can just click this forward arrow and boom, it takes us straight into posting socially. It's got the verbiage there. It's full of emojis. People love emojis. It's got an image. If I don't like the image, I could replace it with a different image. I could just click it and delete it and grab a different image. So here is where I have the ability to include my ownership statement, which says each office is independently owned and operated, and my DBA logo right in the post. Okay. I can choose to schedule the post at a later date and time, or I could choose to publish the post immediately. And
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So the broker that I am working for has just recently gotten his own firm name that we are going to start to use. Okay. So when it comes to that, where he now has his own firm name and we are affiliated with KW Elite Realty, how do I do that?
So what I would do on their Facebook business page, it should, like mine, this is my original one. I've been in real estate for a long time. So before all the rules and regulations were there. But what they really should have their Facebook business page be named is whatever the name of their company is. So for y'all watching in YouTube land, if that's you, Monica Perry at KW Elite, right? If you have a team name, like my fake team is called the Elite Helpers, the Elite Helpers at KW Elite, right? Carolina Crew at KW Elite, Johnson Real Estate at KW Elite. So that's really how your Facebook pages should be named. But as far as that goes, as far as like logos and stuff like that, if you're going to put their logo into an image that you created in designs, you could make sure it's on one side as opposed to the other, and then let the scheduling platform put the brokerage logo in the other side, if that makes sense. But you need
to have both logos on there, but on opposite sides.
Or have like the team logo in the upper left corner and the brokerage logo in the lower right corner.
Okay, now in this particular example we're looking at, there's only one field for a logo. So how would I be able to add?
You would have had to have done it from designs first, or something I have done, and I think it would probably let you do it. I've combined two logos together before, a team and a brokerage logo, and you would probably just be able to upload it.
Okay.
Right. Like I know that that's just a KW Elite Realty logo, but I'm saying if you had it saved to your computer together, you would probably just be able to upload it as one little file in the lower corner.
Okay, one more question and then I'll let you move on. So my broker's new business name and logo that he just signed off on and approved on It says select home realtor powered by Keller Williams Elite Realty.
Confirm with your broker in charge
Okay.
that they're okay with that. If they're okay with that, that's what's important.
Okay. So if the broker in charge is okay with that, then that's the only logo I would need to use.
If they say it's okay,
Okay.
I'm
Gotcha.
not going to answer for them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I am qualified to be a broker in charge. I'm not one for a reason because
Right,
I
yeah.
don't want that level of responsibility.
Yeah.
But yes, so best practice, you have both. If you have powered by, they may be okay with that, but that's ultimately their decision.
Okay.
Cool deal. So quick post, super simple, right? I don't want to post it right now. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. The other quick post that I like is these neighborhood videos. Again, if you're in a metropolitan area in the city like I am in Winston-Salem, there's lots of neighborhoods and next doors, so this works well for me. So I'm going to search again for Buena Vista, just because I know it works well. There it is. Next, it makes a little video. If you want to go into your MLS and check all these details, that is completely up to you. If you know that square footage is, 160 or whatever it is, then you can put that in there. I just let it run because I'm trying to be quick, and you have to think this is a snapshot at a specific moment in time. So it's not going to be accurate for very long anyway. That's the way I look at it. So I just go ahead and move forward and click next. And it can take up to 10 seconds. So we're going to be patient. We get a cute little video. There you go. Though.
Oh,
Isn't it cute?
yeah.
And then you just click save and post. Quick post takes you straight through, write some verbiage, and off it goes. So it's going to bring you here, enter text, put your text up here, and then post your video. That is not one I would schedule out in advance because it's kind of real-time data. But
Gotcha.
there we go. So quick posts are covered. So now we're going to talk about social posts because they're free. We can schedule out social posts way far in advance. Posts I like to schedule. Holidays, because I would rather be enjoying mine than posting on Facebook. Anything that you do that is schedulable. Like I have an agent that posts stuff on Motivational Monday. They post some motivational quote. You could schedule those to go out every Monday from now until whenever you want them to come out. Hump day recipes. Stop at the supermarket for these 5 ingredients for a 1-sheet pan recipe that's quick and easy for your family for dinner. Fine, schedule that out. And then Fridays, they post something funny Friday, or they do Freaky Friday in the month of October. Those are things that I'm cool with scheduling. But social media algorithms do not like for us to purely schedule content. It knows that you're doing it. It will not allow you to climb in the algorithm. So we have to do a combination of things. So schedule those holidays, schedule those Monday, Wednesday, Friday type posts. So you always have content coming out. That's great. But then testimonials, open house this weekend, just listed, just sold, all of those get posted in real time, right? Do a combination of Facebook Lives, stories, Instagram stories, reels, do a combination of everything. The algorithm loves that. It pushes you higher and higher up. That is how we do it. Do a combination and always following the 80-20 principle. 80% personal post, 20% business post, because nobody wants to sound like a used car salesman and nobody wants to listen to one, right? It can't just be real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. It can be real estate related and still be personal. Once when I was showing property in the spring here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I had on what I thought was a very cute little outfit with probably some unreasonable shoes in which to be out showing property. And I busted my tail in the grass and it was wet and I got dirty. That's funny. That's personal. Post it. That's fine. Business related, but personal. My kids coming to Red Day and pictures, still business related, but personal, right? And then, of course, just the personal stuff, whether it's about your kids, about your pet, about your house, about your vacation, what you're having for dinner, all of that kind of stuff, because people do business with people they like, and people like to know somebody is a person, not just a robot that sells houses. So, combination of all of it together, but you can 100% schedule stuff out so that you don't have to stress about it later down the road. So, let's talk about doing that. I'm going to click Create Campaign. In the upper right corner, I'm going to choose social posts, which is free. I can choose, do I want it to only go to my Facebook business page? Do I want it to also go to my Instagram? Do I want it to also go to my Twitter? Just remember with Twitter, you have a character limit of 160. So you have to make sure that it stays within the character limit. But I usually just post to Facebook and Instagram. Okay. So then we write whatever our post is about. We click the picture. Here's that option. Browse files. If we downloaded that video like we did earlier, then we're going to want to upload the video that we did earlier. Maybe I didn't wait for it to download. I probably didn't, knowing me. But nonetheless, here's a video that I made. You can just upload your video here. Okay. Write what your video is going to be about. Schedule the post. That easy. Publish it immediately. Schedule it for later. If you're uploading the image or you're uploading the video. Our other option is to click the Browse Designs button. And guess what it opens? It opens our designs platform. So then we can just pick this. And it's going to, we just created it, so it might tell me it's not ready yet. Nope, it didn't do it for me this time. Need to make sure it's the right crop. And then you'll put it into where it goes. The reason it's doing that is because it's a story size instead of a social square, which is the best thing to put when you're doing it through here. Social stories are the ones that show up at the top of Facebook. Those really need to be done directly in Facebook. But you get the point. You can just grab them. But that's good because it makes you use that, right? So we want to use all the different functionality that there is to offer, but maybe I'm just going to use this one. I think this one is in fact a square. It is. I'm going to confirm that. So that would look really nice, right? So curious what your home is worth. DM me. Or if you built a landing page around it, click here. However you want to handle it, just whatever you want your message to be with a catchy, pretty image, and you can either schedule it for later or you can post it. This could be for the holidays. So if you had your Thanksgiving post, this is why I say for the logo to not be in the design if you're doing it through here. Let this load. I am pretty sure in Triad MLS that it makes this logo pop up. So then you're going to either end up with them overlapping, or even if you put it left justified, you end up with two logos, which is why I say if you're going to post through here, just allow it to drop the logo for you instead of including it in your design. Make sense?
Yep.
Because even though it lets me uncheck it, I'm pretty sure it puts it on there anyway to keep me compliant. Then it looks terrible. So just little tips and tricks I've picked up along the way. But you can post whatever you want to through here, right? Like I have done. I'll go to my Facebook page. Mine's not truly active. Most people know that I just use it for training. It used to be active, but I haven't sold in, good grief, 8 years now. So, but Halloween posts, all those different ones. There's some of those quick posts that are out of there for Labor Day, videos, command. I love these, right? This is something I'm about to show you guys. So I'll just go ahead and use this as an example. Whatever it is that you can find on your website, we talked about this yesterday, that you think would be of interest in your area in this market of the moment. This was obviously in July when people were blazing hot. Maybe they were looking for a home with a pool. How cute is the dog on the diving board? My dog actually sits on my diving board just like that, which I think is hilarious. So I used this picture. I went to my own website, and I do teach a whole class on this because you can use these for Facebook ads or you can use them for Facebook posts. I can just go to my own website and search for any place, whether it's a city, a zip code, a neighborhood. I usually do cities because they're larger areas to consider. So I'm on my own website. There's the boundaries around Winston-Salem. I could now say, I just want to look at Winston-Salem homes with pools. So now I could make that cute picture. I can copy this link. I can do exactly what I just did on my Facebook back in July. Looking for a home with a pool in Winston-Salem? Click here to learn more, right? It brings them to my website, which then performs the search, Winston-Salem homes with pools, because I use this link. It always stays active and live and just returns the search results for homes with pools, which is pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
So anything like that, you can do, I'll uncheck pool. Maybe I want to do reduce in the last 7 days. Winston-Salem homes that have been recently price improved. That's your post or your ad, right? So you can do that. You can do one step further. Winston-Salem, $700,000 threshold to be considered luxury. Chapel Hill, Durham, Greensboro, $800,000. So we'll go with 800,000 since predominantly that's right. Max, minimum 800,000. Done. These are luxury Winston-Salem homes recently reduced. That's your ad or your post. And they get to see the amount of the reduction, all that kind of fun stuff. So just something to keep in mind when you're publishing anything on your Facebook that you can use that, right? But yeah, I mean, just go through and think of all the different things you can post. Obviously, this is just a test account page. This would have a combination of the more personal stuff with the fun stuff, with the business stuff, with the holidays, or anything else that you wanted to post. There's one of those videos, Christmas last year. Just all different kinds of stuff that you can do in here. First day of fall, first day of winter, all that kind of fun stuff. All right, so questions on social posting. All good?
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do.
Awesome. So let's go look at direct mail. So mine are obviously tests. I need to just get rid of some of these because there's a lot of them. But right from, excuse that very loud car that just drove by. Right from here, we have built-in templates. And like I said, they are fantastic for listings. So I'm going to show you how it works using a built-in template. Create campaign. We are going to be doing a direct mail piece. We are going to give it a goal, or a name rather. Oh, dang it. I forgot I did that. I need that address back and I forgot what it was. Or address. Again, my firm's active listings again. Charlotte Lakes. Love that. Who's it going to be? Janaea Platt. And I love Janaea. If you've never met Janaea, y'all go give her a hug. Love that girl. Okay. So we're going to use Miss Janaea's lovely listing. We're going to close some of these windows out to do a direct mail piece. Okay. What are we doing? We're advertising a listing. So we're going to create campaign. We're going to search for the listing. Since we told it we're advertising a listing, we're going to search for a listing. If you have your own listings, they're going to show up here because it says only my listings. I personally don't have listings, so I need to change this to all listings. And I need to paste the address and search. And there's that listing right there. Okay. So chosen listing. Now I'm going to come down to content. What size postcard do I want to send? A standard 4x6, a 6x9, or a 6x11? That's up to your personal preference. I'm going to use a jumbo because I like the way it looks better on the back. It gives me more room to relay my message about my listing. So I'm going to choose that one. Okay. So now my options are just listed, just sold, and coming soon. So I'm going to say just listed. It's going to put it into my template. It's populating my bedrooms. It's populating the description that came out of the MLS. Now, Chapel Hill and Durham. I'm not sure if yours will do this or not. In Winston-Salem and Greensboro and Triad MLS, for whatever reason, the way that the MLS syndicates out the images, they are not high enough pixels. See what it recommends is 1200 by 1800. They come out not big enough. That's why they all have these little exclamation points. As far as what triangle MLS does, it might be better, and you wouldn't need to do that. You're going to see it's going to say that it's a low resolution image when I'm doing it from Triad MLS. But obviously, if it's your listing, you probably have the photographer's pictures. So just upload the picture from your computer for the best print quality. But I just wanted to make that aside so that you guys know that. So now we have content just listed, address, picture, front, back, address, price, MLS, description, number of beds and baths, my company address, my company's logo. I know that the front says KW standalone. No, we cannot change it. I do get asked that. So if you don't like that, we need to make it in designs and then bring it in. But the pre-installed templates are here. That's it. That's all you do. Market Center, it's got my DBA logo. It's got all this stuff here. My state, I always have to choose. I think that is, again, a Triad MLS thing because I know that that doesn't happen to some agents in different states. Verify address. Confirm. Targeting. We're looking for check marks all the way down the page. So are we going to target around the listing? Is that what our goal is? If it is, great. You can choose that. If you want to mail your entire database, then you could choose to target your database with this postcard. And when you go to add contacts, guess what? I have 1,500 contacts. This is why tags are so important. We talked about that on Monday. So maybe I have a tag called postcard and these are the people that I want to send any postcards to, then I could just look for the people that have the tag postcard, right? But for these purposes, I'm going to locally target around my listing. But you can see where that would be good for those holiday postcards that we're going to send in a little bit. We could use that. So I'm just going to target around the listing. Currently, I'm sending out 200 postcards, standard mail. Estimated cost is $192. Direct mail is not cheap. That is for sure. This direct mail gets printed for us, stamped for us, mailed for us, and we get a copy in the mail. So there are other options for doing direct mail. A lot of lenders will partner with you to do direct mail, and you only have to pay half, and they do all the work because they put their lender on the postcard with you. None of those answers are wrong. It's just whichever one works better for your business. If you're like, that's too rich for my blood, I just want to do 100 and pay $96, great, do that. I actually prefer to send first class because I'm a little bit more confident in the fact that it will get there. So maybe I want to do 100 postcards for $122. Then I can click save. The cost would be a little less if I had not chosen the jumbo postcard as well. If I want to add a QR code to the back for tracking purposes, I need to have a landing page that I made for the listing so that when they scan the QR code, it actually gives them some information about the listing, right? Which gives them something to look at when they scan it. Then it put a QR code up here in the corner for them to scan and get more information about the listing. I capture the lead that way, which is nice. Questions about this piece? Good. Cool. Going forward to configure targeting. Or am I sure I want to create? Yes. Okay. So now it's going to show me my listing in the center of the map and the 100 addresses with the blue dots that surround it where my postcards will be sent. If I'm like, not enough coverage, I could choose to increase this. If I feel like these houses over here shouldn't really get this postcard, I can actually draw a polygon and be like, yeah, not really part of the neighborhood here. So I'm going to put a polygon around. Why do you not want to let me draw? Thank you. Draw my polygon today. I was like, please stop moving the map. I could just try to exclude those with my polygon here. And maybe I do want to bring in this side instead. Then I can do that. And if I'm like, yes, I do still want this and this, and I need to add that in or whatever I need to do right there. And that might adjust my number of postcards a little bit, but I'm assured that I'm targeting exactly where I wanted to target. I could choose to change it back to standard mail to make that price go down. I always send a copy to myself at my company address so that I make sure that the postcard gets where it's supposed to be going and that it looked okay. And then I move forward again and I enter my credit card information. I also have the ability here to see my last chance preview. I can view it larger. It looks like that when I do that. And I could choose to schedule it for a later date. So when that says schedule launch for a later date, that doesn't mean I want to schedule it for the 15th and it's going to go out on the 15th. That means I want to schedule it to start production on the 15th. So I always like to discern the difference in that, but you can in fact schedule a launch for a later date and then put in your credit card information there. So up to so it tells you on the left, if you submit your order before 3 p.m. on a business day, mailers will go into production that same day. Then you cannot cancel. Okay. but you want to make sure, and it tells you when they're estimated to arrive there as well. You want to make sure that if you need to cancel it, you do it as fast as you possibly can. Okay. If you get beyond a certain point, you can't cancel through here anymore. You have to go directly to Real Mailer's website to find it and cancel it, or call them directly. So they are a third-party vendor. For right now, this is not in-house. This is through Real Mailers, just so you guys are aware. All right. So that is how we do direct mail postcards using the templates that are pre-installed. Now, we're going to look at uploading that postcard we made earlier. Same thing, create campaign in the upper right corner, choose direct mail, but this time, brand awareness or event awareness, happy holidays, whatever it is that you want to call it. And I'm going to say happy holidays 2022, create. So now, content. We are not selecting a template, we are uploading a design. And it tells us your designs will include information, should include this. They need a 1.25 inch bleed, right? Or 0.125 inch bleed, which we have. Please ensure your image meets these exact dimensions. So because of the way we created it earlier, it does, in fact, meet those exact dimensions. And this is the front, I think, that I'm correct. I was wrong. This is the front. And this is the back. If I had not done the manual bleed, it would have said this is the incorrect size. That's why I always like to touch on that manual bleed with you guys. But there you go. So now you get to preview the front, the back, and how it would look. And then we can click save. And then we're going to go through all the same steps. Market center, still don't get to have my state there. Still don't have an answer as to why, but hopefully I will get one soon. I always like to verify the address because it always corrects it with the additional 4-digit zip code. This time I would in fact target my database, and I would add contacts, and I would use my tags, and I would probably do, I'm just going to grab like my family tag and select all and add. So those would be the people that the card would go to. I can send a postcard to as little as one person. So if you wanted to make a postcard for someone's birthday, you could send just that one postcard for their birthday. And it prints it, good quality, mails it, done. Just make sure you send it with it, plenty of time. But yeah, so that's how you would do it for the design. Just make sure you use that manual bleed. That's the most important thing. So any questions on that?
Awesome.
Sweet. Emails. Okay. So for emails, we have to use the design email. We also have to have an email list. Okay. So we have two options for our email list when we're creating a campaign and choosing email and giving it a purpose, whatever we're doing it for. This would actually probably be brand awareness. Are we going to use Command Mail or MailChimp? If you love MailChimp, great. You can connect your MailChimp account and you can use it here. I'm just going to use Command Mail, which is the one that's built in. And I'm going to choose my recipients list because I already have it. I already have one called family. Boom. If you did not already have a list, you would have the ability to click create list right here. Okay. Again, tags come into play. Super important because I don't know about you, but I don't want to scroll through 1,500 names. You definitely want to make sure that you had tags in place for who, in fact, you wanted to send this email to. And then we could enter the subject line, Happy Thanksgiving. Yay, Happy Thanksgiving. Monica can't type. And then we're going to click Select Design. And so Happy Thanksgiving is right here for me. Remember, this is going to fill in with our data pending our marketing profile is complete. It's got a picture. It's got my Thanksgiving message. All this stuff is also going to fill in. I can options preview to make sure it looks good. And save. Then I have to hit the X, which I still find annoying, and I have to confirm the save again. All right. So now I'm seeing the preview on the right of what it's going to look like. I've got my, I always like to put an emoji in here. I'm going to do some leaves and a turkey. There we go. And I'm actually just going to send this to my handy dandy Dakota. There we go. Done. Send. Get to see it one more time. It's only going to one person. Obviously, your list would probably be bigger, but I just wanted to show you. And so then it has to take its time processing, which depending upon how many people you're sending it to, it seems kind of like the time of day that you're sending it can be slow. That is why I prefer to use those design emails in Smart Plans, because I'm fairly confident when I hit send now that it in fact does send now. So we'll let it take its time to do what it's doing. I'm going to give it a refresh to see if it went. Yeah. So it still hasn't gone, but I have sent some previously. And what I do enjoy about this is that you get this view. So how many got sent, how many were opened, how many clicked, who unsubscribed, etc. Right? So that is one thing I do like about email campaigns. And like I said, I know that they're going to continue to get better. But I mean, that's it. That's all there is in here. You can see what got mailed. You can see who opened it, clicked it, unsubscribed from it. You can give tags right from here. So I could add a tag to somebody. I could pop out the contact details and it would take me directly to the command contact for that person, which I'm not going to show on camera so that YouTube won't take my video down. But there you go. That's what it looks like. And all these design emails, just so you guys can see kind of what they look like, have gone out to Dakota in the last year plus. So we did pumpkin carving, happy fall, Labor Day, monthly neighborhood nurtures, happy 4th, spring, April Fools, all that kind of fun stuff. And they all look super cute. So there we go. So any questions on that? Awesome. All right. So we have just enough time to discuss ads a little bit. Again, lead with revenue. If you don't have money to put into your business yet, y'all, please don't start off by spending money. You can do social media posts for free, build up that following. But if you do want to dabble in Facebook ads, just don't spend a lot of money yet. Run your ad for somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks. See what happens with it. The most important thing to remember with paid ads is that the fortune is in the follow-up. So if you do not have a follow-up plan in place that lasts for at least 30 days after this person has clicked on your Facebook ad, you're doing yourself a disservice by running the ad in the first place, and you're throwing your money in the trash. So please don't do that. So showing you how to do a paid ad is super easy. Explaining the importance of follow-up, not so much. We talked about smart plans on Monday. go to Smart Plans, look up the word Facebook. So again, we go to Smart Plans, we go to the library, we look up the word Facebook, or you could look up Instagram if you're going to run an Instagram ad. Facebook ads tend to get a few more leads than others. But there are agents that have made Facebook ad follow-up smart plans all over the place, right? I prefer smart plans that last at least 30 days for internet lead generation follow-up. So there's tons of them. Look at how many steps there are. Look at the duration of days. Look at the number of reviews that they've gotten. How many times have they been downloaded? Add them to your command, edit them, make sure that you read through the smart plans and edit them, please. I'm going to show you an example because I have my own Facebook follow-up. For me, let me use that one right there and click the pin. So I don't know when somebody's going to click on this. If it's 11:30 at night, I am not calling them. Just not. But I want them to make sure that I know that they clicked on my ad. So my first steps for my smart plan are call, because if it's within calling hours, obviously I'm going to call them. But if it's not, I want them to still get something. So they're going to get this email called Looking for a Home. When you download someone else's smart plans, you have to read it. This says high contact first name, high contact first name, contact last name. That's going to fill in. It's a merge field, right? But then it says, I saw you were checking out what was your ad about? That means you need to fill it in. I saw that you were looking at the home I posted on Facebook. I saw you were looking at the homes that were recently reduced that I posted on Facebook. You need to edit the smart plan, right? So make sure that you read through them before you just drop people into them, okay? So there's the email that goes out first. It delays. I have Twilio installed into my command account. Therefore, my text send auto-magically. So make sure that you check the text. Make sure that if you don't have Twilio, that you change this step from being a text task to a task that's going to give you a task that says, text Doreen, hi, thanks for clicking on my Facebook ad. Did you get my email yesterday? Right? Because it's not going to send automatically like it is going to if you have Twilio. So you've got to keep those things in mind. Then it delays. Then it sends an email. Then it delays, right? I made this in the heat of the market. Interest rates aren't low right now. So talk about low interest rates is not a timely subject line. So you can still talk about mortgages,
right,
but not low interest rates. So you need to look at those smart plans and make the appropriate edits or create your own. But I don't like recreating the wheel. So if it's already there, I'm just going to edit because it's faster. Then it does another email, then it does another text, then it delays, then it gives me a task and tells me to call them, then it delays. Then it sends them an email, the one that we looked at earlier, called copy of Work With Me Buyer. I'm here as your buyer's agent. I want to help you, blah, 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 blah. It's getting down to day 19. They still haven't answered me. If they answered me sometime previous, I turned this off, right? I'm not going to keep harassing them if we're already in a conversation. So I would have turned it off. But if they haven't, it's going to say, hey, I hope I'm not being a pest. I just want to make sure you're taken care of. Despite the market price improved homes are in your area, I'd love to share those with you. What's the best way for me to get these homes to you? Then it delays again. My delays start to get a little bit longer. Then I say, hey, I haven't heard back from you about my last text. Here are those price improved homes I was talking about. We looked at how to look those up on our website. So I need to paste that link in here, right? Then it's going to delay again. Then it's going to task me to say, okay, what neighborhood was the listing in that they clicked on? If so, put the neighborhood in their contact card. Why? Because in 3 days, it's going to drop them into my biweekly neighborhood nurture so that on and on forever for every 2 weeks, they're going to get an email from me unless they click unsubscribe. And then 2 days after that, it's going to send them an email and say, did you see any homes that you like? I registered you. Well, I mean, when they clicked, they registered to talk about houses. So I sent you some listings and neighborhood alerts. I wanted to check and see if you've been receiving those and if I need to make any adjustments. Then it delays again. Then it sends one last text that says, maybe now is not the right time for you to buy a home, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. Then it sends one last email to them. And that is the end of the SMART plan, but the SMART plan dropped them into the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. So they are going to continue to get reached out to by you every 2 weeks. Because maybe right now just wasn't the time for them to buy.
Which was that smart plan again?
Which
smart
one,
plan?
honey?
No, this whole thing.
Oh, this is mine. This is just my
Oh,
smart plan.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just mine that I made.
Okay, gotcha.
But I think it is published. You just need to make the edits.
Okay,
You
so
just look, you can look it up by
2021.
my name.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So I digress. That's the most important part of a Facebook ad is the follow-up. So let's move into the campaign section and actually run one. Pretty simple, actually. Create campaign, social ad paid, enter your campaign name. We're still going to just go with a listing because they usually get the most traction. We're advertising a listing. We're running it on Facebook. You can run it wherever you want. I'm just using Facebook as an example. I don't have listings again. So if I did this, I would have asked an agent in my office, hey, Janaea, is it okay if I use your Flint Ridge Drive listing to run a Facebook ad? The worst thing that they can say, y'all, is no. If they say no, ask the next agent that has a listing that you like if you could run a Facebook ad on their listing, right? Maybe Janaea is already running a Facebook ad on her listing. But if you don't have a listing, you can ask. And plus, I've done classes on other ideas of things that you can run ads on. So the main copy is there. It's only got 250 characters. So that ended with a comma because it cut off those MLS descriptions. So I definitely want to make sure that that ends. I never want this to say see more on the right. Any extra clicks people have to make, they're not going to like it. So please don't do it. Headline, super simple. Welcome home. Short, sweet, and simple. Description, try this. You could be coming home to this. Why do you think they suggested it? Because it works. Use suggestion. Didn't even have to type it, right? Then we're going to save it. We got check, check, check. If I wanted to change this background picture, I could. I don't need to. It looks beautiful. I'm just going to leave it. Facebook settings. This is important. Make sure that your page is picked. Make sure that you're using the Facebook lead generation form, which says it is recommended for you to use. Make sure that whatever your button label says, in this instance, learn more, that when they click learn more, they in fact get to learn more. So you want to make sure your message matches what you're delivering, right? So an easy way to do that, again, go to your website, look up the listing, open it up, copy the link, copy, because guess what? They have to land somewhere. So if they click learn more and it takes them here where they get to see all the pictures, they get to look at everything. They get to see the price. They get to get a mortgage estimation. They get to see the acreage, the year it was built. They get to see what neighborhood it's in, right? They get to see all these things. Then they're getting to learn more. So you're delivering what you promised you would. So that is a simple way to do it. Or you could make it a landing page. If you wanted to create a landing page for the listing, you could 100% do that. Why is my Zoom window not move? Thank you. Auto audience. Okay. So auto audience is going to target the city that your listing is in if you're doing a listing. In fact, if you didn't choose advertise a listing, you would need to type what area you were targeting in here. It defaults to a radius of 20 miles. The lowest you can go is 15. It's going to show you your audience definition over here on the right-hand side, which shows you how many people you're going to be reaching and have the potential to reach with this ad. You could change this. You could make it bigger. You could make it all the way down to 15. You could create a custom audience where you pick stuff like they're interested in whatever, they have a high education. Some people love to use custom audiences. Some people just like to run the auto audience because it's fast and they're just trying to get as many leads as they can. Conversion ratio on leads is what? 50 to 1 per the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. 50 to 1. So keep that in mind. Okay. There's no bad leads. There's just now leads and later leads. So the only bad lead is the one with which you don't follow up, right? Because maybe they clicked on it because they thought the house was pretty, but they have no buying power right now. But because you stay in touch with them when they do get buying power, you're the first person that they think of. So you're the person that they call, right? So no bad leads, just now leads and later leads. We're going to save that and we're going to have a green check mark. Lead settings. I like to auto tag my people. I already forgot what this is. Facebook. I'm just going to say Shallowford Lakes. Add Shallowford. Create tag. Now, everybody that comes in is going to have the tag, the Facebook ad I ran for Shallowford Lakes. I'm going to know where they came from. That's where that contact came from in my database. Guess what I can also do? I can automatically assign them to that Facebook Smart Plan that I have, right? So then I don't even have to think about it. When they click learn more, it almost immediately captures their data. It drops them as a lead into my command database, and it immediately starts the Smart Plan, which is going to, in the first step, give me a task to call them with a script and send them an email simultaneously. And then that Smart Plan is going to roll unless they get in touch with me, at which point I'm going to turn that Smart Plan off. But I don't even have to worry about putting them on the Smart Plan in the first place. Duration and budget. Go ahead.
No, I just said nice.
Oh, good. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. I don't want to have to remember to do that every time. We used to have to remember to do that every time till they gave us that automatic start. So they always recommend $1 per channel per day. Okay. So if you're going to run this for 10 days, the smallest amount that you're allowed to run it for is $10. You could run it for $20. You could run it for $25. But just remember, lead with revenue. Don't start off spending a ton of money. Try it out and see what happens. See how your Smart Plan works. If it does really well, great. Run it again for $20, right? But the best thing to do with these is do one and see how it works out. You can't hurt anything. You can't break anything. Try it out for yourself. Just run one for $10, put a Smart Plan in place, see what you can get from it until you feel more confident in running more and more ads. I have some people that run like 10 ads at one time to capture all the leads. So totally up to you guys how you choose to do this. But I hope that this was helpful. Do we have any questions? Are we good to go?
Very helpful.
Good. Fantastic. Well, this is recorded. This will get put up on YouTube later this afternoon, added to kwtechcoach.com. And if you don't already follow me on YouTube, please go ahead and follow me and click the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. 10 a.m. tomorrow, we'll be doing last minute things in command, cleanup reports, tasks, looking at some settings, going over the command app a little bit more. I do not think it will take the full 2 hours tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you back here at 10.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.